Yes, I do.
Hi.
Hey.
Hey, girl.
So everybody, this is Monday night live with L&W Interior Concepts. And I wanted to try to keep everything, all my guests design related, but I just wanted to pivot a little bit because I thought that this topic, even during this quarantine, is even more relevant than ever. And I just want to get my girls' business out there. If you haven't been following me or on the story, then you would know that Erotic Boudoir is a company that I always, not always, but I promote a lot. Um, you know, um, adult novelties and everything. So Nicole is co-owner of Erotic Boudoir, and they sell all things what, Nicole?
All things adult.
Okay, cool. And she is part owner with her mother, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But how it ties into design is Nicole is my director of operations. So she's the first point person. So anybody who wants any type of design services, you would go on the website, you would complete a questionnaire, and then those questionnaires go to Nick. She sends you all the information you might need. She schedules everything. She's my first point person, and I don't know what I would do without her because I wouldn't be able to manage. I would be missing things. I'm forgetful. I would forget to put things on the calendar. She schedules all my things for me. If I need to follow up with a vendor, she'll do it. Like, she helps me operate the business. So this is how Erotic Boudoir ties into L&W Interior Concepts. She's my wall. Everybody. You don't talk to me, you'll talk to her. She talked to her first. So that's how it's connected to design. So Nicole and I have been friends for 20 years.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've been friends for 20 years, and out of those 20 years, she has always been in the adult novelty, but she's always been in it. She's always worked somewhere, had her fingers in it, her hands in it. I'm sorry.
Thanks, lady. Pause. Pause.
Pause. She's always been a strong advocate for men and women having pleasurable relations, whatever type it is. She's always been a strong advocate for it. So, with me building my business and my brand, I have always been on the offensive. How do I promote her? Do I promote her? I don't want to scare away clients because for whatever reason, when it comes to sex, everybody acts like they don't do it, which cracks me up because
right.
We're sitting here or we're standing wherever you are because two people had sex and they created you. So, right. It's always been, not a fear, but I don't want to scare away people, especially couples. I'm a woman coming into a couple's house. I don't want people to, any woman, wife, to think I'm going to jump on her husband because I'm not, trust me. And then one incident I'm going to share with them, Nick, is I did a promotion for Nicole. So Nicole gave me a, is it considered a vibrator?
It's more a stimulation device, electric stimulation device.
Right. So it's an electric stimulation device. And I could not believe the results. When I tell you, and we're going to talk about this for anybody who's interested, the results, I just had to share it with everyone because I felt like every woman on the planet needed this product. Right. So I said, Nick, I'm going to do a little commercial for you. And the way that I prefaced it was, I'm a single woman building an empire. I don't have time for relationships and I don't want a bunch of different men coming in and out of my bed. So for women like me or in a relationship, it doesn't matter, but I was gearing my commercial towards, single women who don't have anyone. Here's the satisfier. So I did this whole little commercial and she put it on her stories. And that the stories, they delete after 24 hours. So I did it sometime in a week. And then that weekend, actually, Lydia and I were going to some real estate thing. And my mom called me like, Lauren, you're talking about masturbating? And I'm like, what? I'm like, what are you talking about? She was like, you were talking about masturbating? And I'm like, how, like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, number one, I'm grown, okay? So I can talk about what I want. And I said, what's wrong with that? So she was like, well, nothing. I mean, I said, it's either that or me having Tom, Dick, and Harry coming up in the house with Chloe, you know, so we don't want to do those type of things. So somebody in my, who's close but not close in my life, sent my stepdad the damn thing. And, you know, I guess, so that made me feel like, am I saying something wrong? But neither here nor there. We are here. Nicole is here. And, you know, we're going to talk about her business. Okay. So, Nicole, you know, talk about Erotic Boudoir. You know, what you do, what's the mission behind the business, the brand, and all of those things?
Well, Erotic Boudoir is, you know, we're based in Philadelphia. It's owned by myself and my mom. And our mission is to normalize the conversations of masturbation and sexual education, you know. Like you were saying earlier, a lot of times in the majority of people's household, just to even hear the word masturbation, people cringe, you know, like it's a bad thing. And it's not a bad thing. It's a natural thing. It's a learning process, you know. I don't have any children, but I have plenty of girlfriends with children, and they often say that they might find their son or their daughter, you know, touching themselves at some point in their life as they're growing up, curious about, you know, their body parts, or they don't know, you know, what their body parts are called. They don't know how they operate. They don't know, you know, what's going on. They're conflicted about how they feel, but they just know it feels good. So, you know, we're here, and our mission is to, you know, just normalize the conversations and normalize sex toys in your household because they're fun.
Yes. So when you talk about, because children are curious, and I don't think, you know, is anything wrong when you know, I don't think you should make a child feel bad when they start touching yourself. I feel like it's a rite of passage for boys, but for little girls, it's demonized. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I remember one time I was over my girlfriend's house. This was years ago, and she lived, you know, it was her, and I think her son was about 2 or 3 at the time. And I was just like, you know, in her kitchen dancing and everything, and he was like, ew, that looks so nasty. So I feel like at a young age, you know, it's a feeling, you know, certain things, you know, you don't really know, but it's a feeling in us because, I mean, we're all mammals or whatever. So, So talk about how you and your mother, because I feel like this is what I think is what makes your business less like raunchy or, you know, sleazy, because you started the business with your mom, right? Mm-hmm. And your mom is the one who actually, you know, got you into, you know, taught you it's okay to pleasure yourself, it's okay to, you know, feel good. So won't you talk about that?
Well, you know, growing up, I'm lucky that I had parents who were very open about sex and sexuality. You know, I could always talk to my mom about anything. She's my best friend. You know, she knows everything about me. She knows all of the nasty, kinky shit I'm into. And, you know, half of the time she's into it too. So you've been a part of those conversations where you just shake your head like, wow, you know. But you know, I'm lucky and fortunate enough to have a parent that, you know, has always been very, very open about talking about sex. And, you know, my father too, when he was alive, it wasn't anything that was frowned on. And they, you know, she pretty much just said to me, learn your body, but be discreet about it. Have some level of, you know, discretion when you're doing these different types of things, you know. Don't, you know, she gave me the principles, right? The foundation, like don't give yourself to just anyone, and, you know, don't be out here sleeping around and all those different things. But she's like, you should always be open to learning different techniques, different things, you know, with the person that you're with. So, you know, it's a very unique dynamic. And what her unique perspective is, at her age, my mom is almost 70 years old. Mm-hmm. She's still out here talking about all of the different things. And the thing about it is, sex is universal for all of us. So regardless of how old you are, your orgasm doesn't have an expiration date. So you have to, you know what I mean, take all of those things into consideration when you're thinking about having fun in the bedroom, pleasing your partner, whether they be male, female, turtle, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta please your partner and be open.
Right. So tell them, do you mind sharing a story when you and Tony were having problems and what she
Oh
said?
God.
Her mother, guys.
Oh, y'all sure y'all ready for this conversation? All right, don't judge Lauren based on this conversation. This is me, okay? So I was living with my boyfriend at the time, and she came over to our place to visit, and I stepped out of the room for 1 second. And again, talking about sex is normal. It's just as normal as, what are you going to eat for dinner tonight, right?
Right.
And all I know, I walked in the room, and she asked me, "You mean to tell me you don't let him fuck you in the ass?" And I was like, what are we talking about here? And I'm like, what? And my boyfriend at the time, he says, "You need to listen to your mother. You need to listen to your mother." And I'm like, okay, so here we go. But that's how normal these things are, you know, in my household. And I just was like, listen, don't give him no ideas. I got this. And you just, you know, I'm gonna take you home now. So that was that. And Lauren's cracking up because she's been witness to a lot of conversations with my mom, and it's so true. It's so true.
Yo, listen, AJ is about it. She does not play any games. I mean, she's talking to you like, you know, lock your door. She's telling you, if you're a woman, you should have had that orgasm. If not, you need to understand your body. Like, she talks to you like you live one life.
Like, you're crazy.
So what do you think, what's the overall perception of the sex industry by, you know, like the collective?
You know, when people ask me what I do and I tell them I'm an adult novelty, they immediately think, you know, I'm having sex a lot. I'm having sex with multiple people. I'm having sex with just any and everybody, you know? So that's sometimes the perspective that you get when you tell someone that you're in sex work. I'm not a sex worker, but I'm in sex work. You know what I mean?
So what's a sex worker?
A sex worker is someone that gets paid for sexual intercourse.
Okay. All right. It sounds, you know, sexier than a prostitute, a sex worker.
A sex worker.
Okay. All right.
They're ineligible for unemployment too right now. Okay. So. But, you know, when I tell people these things, the perception is always, oh, she's sleazy, or she's loose, or she's a slut, she's a whore, she's, you know, all of these different types of things. And that's not it, you know, or she's always thinking about sex. She's a nymphomaniac. No, that's not it. You know, I'm here to educate you on how your sex life might be a little bit better with your partner or by yourself. Because there are so many women well of age, you know, 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, who haven't even experienced any sort of orgasms yet, don't know the difference between a penetrative orgasm or a clitoral orgasm. So, you know, that's what I'm here to do, to educate you on all of these different things.
Okay, so what's the difference?
Well, penetration is just that. If you have an orgasm while you're being penetrated with no type of clitoral stimulation. And the clitoral orgasm is when your clitoris just directly is being stimulated.
Okay. All right, cool. So yeah, I think it's, you know, it's like, it's you know, it's so crazy because I feel like it's a double standard. You know, you'll hear men say, you know, I want to, what's the Usher Raymond saying? I want to think in the dent and the think in the bed. I want to,
what's the dink, think a dink? What? Right, lady, right.
That's every song.
You know when Usher Raymond's in the songs, yeah.
A freak in the streets, and I mean in the.
Well, you know, they want you to be a certain
lady in the streets. That's right.
A lady in the streets and a freak in the bed to say, yeah. So I feel like, you know, in my experience, when it comes to men, you know, they want you to be this, you know, this sexual creature, you know, all freaky and everything. But then when you are, then they judge you.
Especially when you come out with them too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, you know, well, I mean, you know, they think, in my experience, if you know, have sex with a guy and it's really good and everything, you know, and you know how women operate. It's really good because we might really like you. I mean, it's two things, you know, we might not really like you, but it's really good. But most times, I mean, it's better because we really like you. So in their mind, of course, they're thinking about you do this with everybody. So I know when I talk to a lot of my friends, you know, you're holding back because you don't want to be judged. But if you don't do, you know, certain things, then they're, you know, you're a stick in the mud. So I feel like, you know, it's sort of a double standard. But when it comes to toys, men are super intimidated. What you think?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Men are very, 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 very intimidated by toys. You know, what I try to tell a lot of ladies too, for, you know, introduction to toys in the bedroom, if they have a man that's kind of like standoffish with it, try not to get a toy that looks like a penis, because that's the thing that men don't want the most. You know, they don't want to hold a toy that looks like a penis.
Right.
If you find something that's a little more inconspicuous, then, you know, they're a little bit, you know, open to the idea of having the toys and, you know, using the toys and things like that on you. And especially, you don't want to get a toy that might be bigger than your man's parts.
Because they hating. They throwing out every time.
And you know, because then they're like, oh, so am I not enough? Is this what she really wants? Does she want to, you know, you go in your head too much and you just lose focus of just having fun. That's why they're called sex toys. They're toys.
Right. And they're supposed to be for, you know, for couples just as well as single people. I feel like it's even more fun with a couple. Now, as far as toys, so I feel like more toys are more geared towards women. But since you've come into this, you know, since you started your business, I have seen some unbelievable toys for men. And when you talk to men about it, they get so goofy. I just don't understand it. So let's talk about that. Talk about some of the things some toys that you have for men and reviews that you've gotten from men about the toys.
Well, some of the toys, there are different types of toys for men. There are the universal term for any of the men toys are called strokers. Okay. So there are open end strokers, which is it's like a cylinder silicone piece, and it has the top that's open,
like the grapefruit.
Right. Okay. But it's longer.
Okay.
You've been paying attention. Good job. But it's a long cylinder silicone piece, and the top part will be cut open, which means once they put it on their penis and stroke all the way down, their entire shaft is engulfed, and the head of their penis will be sticking out the top. So that's considered an open end stroker. Now you have the closed end strokers that are not open on the top. And when the guys use it and you slide it on their penis, the more you stroke it, it creates a suction feel for the guy. So as you put the lube on there and you're stroking, it gets more and more suction just with physics, and they get more pleasure out of it. You have those two type of toys, but then to add additional stimulation to it, there are some that are vibrating. So you add the vibrating feature into it for the guys too. And then they have some that are realistic. So they have like the labia for the guys that want something that looks more like, you know, a full vulva, vagina. And then you have some that looks more like a rectum. It'll have like a little booty cheeks. Right. And it'll have, you know, the little opening there. They have some with mouths with really soft looking teeth on the inside to make it look super realistic. But there are so many different toys for men, and they just not, some guys are ignorant to it, and just some they just don't want to have anything to do with them at all.
So let me ask you something. So in your experience with, you know, in your business, doing a lot of consultations with men and women, and just your own personal experience, do you think that that Black men are more sheltered when it comes to sex than white or any other race?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's unfortunate, and I've said this a lot of different times, that Black men are also the most criticized and judged more harshly than any other race of men when it comes to being open to different sexual acts, to different sexual toys and things like that. So absolutely. And I think, you know, there's this macho attitude, not all, because I hate to, you know me, you know, I always teeter the fence. I'm never going to say, well, all men this or all women that, but a lot of men, they shut down the idea of any sort of sexual aids for ego. for
Right.
ego purposes, you know, or they're afraid that someone will find out, you know, and it's
Or the
like,
toy will replace them.
there's no toy in the world that can replace a body
At all.
next to you, smacking your butt, pulling your hair, choking you out. Can no toy
Right.
replace any of those things? Putting
Right.
putting belts around your neck, can no toy replace any of those type of things?
Woo!
So yeah. Woo.
Oh
It's
my
laughing so
goodness.
hard because we have a story about that. You know, I do so many different things, and you know, oh man.
So, yeah, because I like, you know, I hang around a bunch of men in my job, and when I have the satisfier, like my close guys, I don't want people to think I'm just around here like, hey, with every man. But you know, my
Right.
close friends, I'm like, yo, you got to get your girl the satisfier. I'm telling y'all, but they're like, I'm not getting that for my girl. But I'm like, come on, it's fun. You know, it's fun. It's an aid. It adds to. I don't know any toy that actually takes away from a sexual experience, even if you don't. Even if you don't like it, there's a lot to, you know, you and your man or your partner, whoever, your woman or whatever, and y'all, you know, looking at toys and y'all pick a toy together, y'all try it out together, and either you like it or you don't. But it's something, it creates a different type of bond when you're, you know, bringing other things in. Would you say?
Absolutely. I mean, masturbating, and there's such a thing as mutual masturbation where you, when you're with your partner, you would masturbate in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a very good way of learning your partner's body, just by seeing that the reaction that they give themselves while they're pleasing themselves. I
Right.
think that everyone at some point in their life should have a mutual masturbation session with their partner. That way you can teach them what you like, and also you can learn what they like. You know, you might look at your man, if you have a boyfriend, husband, whomever, right? And you're looking at him stroke his penis, and he might touch his testicles in a way that you've never even thought of. And you're
Mm-hmm.
like, I can do that next time, you know?
Right.
So, you know, that's something that I think everyone should do. Or even if you're shy about it at first, put yourself in front of a mirror. Masturbate in front of a mirror and look at yourself to see what you're doing so you can tell someone how to please you. I think that that's one of the main reasons why a lot of women haven't experienced orgasms, because they don't know how to please themselves. So therefore they can't teach someone how to please them.
Right.
You can't expect this person to come in your bedroom with a magic ball, a
Right.
crystal ball, and know how to please you if you really don't know how to please yourself.
Right. Yeah, and then you know, if the person is a selfish lover, I mean, that's something to think about, because sex is really really important in a relationship. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I know I talk to a lot of men and women, and I think that, you know, men sometimes, you know, they get, you know, ostracized because they want sex. You know, like, it's important to me, I want it, and you know, come on sis, get on your job. You know, and I
Right.
feel like, you know, you got to get on your job. You got to keep people, you know, satisfied. So, as a Black woman, what's some of the challenges you have in the sex industry?
Some of the challenges, when I go to a lot of conventions or demonstrations, seminars, and things, typically I'm like one of five Black persons there out of 200, 250. You
Wow.
know, so one of my biggest challenges is just gaining the respect from my peers, them thinking that I might not know as much as they do because our people are not so involved in sex toys and kink and fetishes and all of those different things, or it's so underground and they're not, you know, brought to the surface and to the forefront, like the rest of them, because white folks been in this thing for a long time.
Right.
They've been in it for a long time. They're very, very familiar with kinks and fetishes and all different types of titles that these things have. And, you know, just, you don't see many Black educators out there. So
Right. If
that's one of
anybody
my,
has any questions, please feel free to ask questions. There's a little question mark right there. Um, oh, So you can ask questions if you have anything you want to ask Nicole. Judgment-free zone. Don't be all scary, y'all. Ask any questions. So let me see, what's my next question?
Hi, Corinne.
I can't see. I'm over here looking like my mom on FaceTime. So how important is design when you're sourcing and you're sourcing your inventory?
Design is super important. One thing that anyone who has spoken with me, spoken to my mom, been to the store, shop with us online, you know that we don't sell cheap toys. None of our toys are cheap. Design is important because you want to find something that is first and foremost body safe, phthalate free, because these toys are being inserted inside of you. So it's to the utmost importance of us for you to have safe toys for you to use with yourself and your partner and things like that. So I try to look for elegant designs that almost look like pieces of jewelry at times. I have
Do you have your piece of jewelry on right now?
I don't. Yeah. I thought about putting it on, but I'm like, shit, I don't sell it, so I could get it, but I don't sell it. But yeah, no, I look at things that almost look like jewelry or pieces that look very inconspicuous, that they don't look like toys. So, you could have it sitting on your dresser and people wouldn't even know, or your coffee table and people wouldn't even know that, it's a sex toy. Especially the glass pieces. The glass pieces are really, really pretty.
Yeah. Yeah. So somebody asked, how would you, my assistant's supposed to be reading the questions for me. I can't see. But somebody said, how do you suggest introducing this combo to teenagers?
It depends on the maturity level that your teenager is at. I have a nephew right now who is very mature, just turned 16. But he's still not ready to talk about sex, although he knows what I do for work. And he's, in front of me during these conversations, and they don't make him feel uncomfortable. He's just like, this is what my aunt does for work, but he's still not ready to talk about it just yet. So I would say it depends on the maturity level of the teenager. I think that if you have a teenager that you're able to be super open with, just sit them down and talk to them like, hey, so have you seen some different sex toys, or show them pictures of rabbit vibrators are always good to look at, so to speak. You know what I mean? Right. They're less intimidating than some other toys. Yeah. So I would just, sit them down and just go for it. Like, have this straight conversation.
Well, Chloe is 11. She'll be 12 in July. And she's already learned. She's getting this advanced sex education at school. And some of the things she's asking me, I'm like, hey, they teaching you that? But, it's a conversation that, I have no problem. She knows a vagina. She knows it's called, what she has is a vagina. She knows boys have testicles and a penis. She's learning that. So she asks me little questions, and I know sometimes she's a little shy. So that's why when she asks me a question, I don't make her feel bad. Like, yeah, Chloe, it's a part of, you getting older. So she's asked me questions. How old were you when you lost your virginity? And I didn't want to lie to her. I told her the truth, and I told her it was an awful experience and all the things that come with it and all of those things. So I think when you introduce these things to your children, is, when you keep things away from kids, they want it more. Mm-hmm. But when you talk to them about it, like, oh, it's just a basic, thing of life, then it's like, oh, okay. So, it's not certain things. And she doesn't, Chloe and I's relationship, Chloe tells me and asks me just about anything. Mm-hmm. And I feel good. So I feel like, maybe you don't want to wait until they're a teenager. You want to wait until when they're hitting puberty, because now her breasts are she's getting a little buds and they hurt. So we talk about all of those type of things, and what's going to come. She's so hype about this period. I don't know why, but she just wants this period so bad. So I'm like, Chloe,
until them cramps hit.
Right. So I have a question. Okay. Somebody is asking,
what's my bestseller?
Yes.
Can I show them?
Yes.
It's the Satisfier. Quarantine. The Satisfier is the best seller. This is the clitoral stimulation.
About that toy. And ladies, if you're in here, please comment if you have a Satisfier and let people see. Coley is saying yes, that toy is amazing. So I used it and
okay, Kim.
Broke. Nick, remember I called you? Look at Kim. Yes, I called Nick. I'm like, this toy is broke. She was like, relax. Okay, you gotta hold it on to make it work. And when I tell y'all, I had the best sleep I had ever had. I never thought that a toy could just make me feel like that. I felt like, woo! Oh my goodness, Camille, you haven't cracked yours open, girl. So
Camille,
you are out of pocket. Yes, the Satisfier, baby. Yes,
she had it since January. Camille's had hers.
Yes. So here's another question. Oh, that's a good question.
A good beginner toy would be a bullet or a very slim vibe. So I have a couple here just to show you a couple of variations. So these are considered bullets, right? And I recommend a longer bullet. That way you have more maneuverability in the bedroom. So this is much more pinpoint. It vibrates on the tip. So you would be able to use it on her clitoris. You can use it on her nipples. She can rub it up and down your shaft. She can circle your testicles with some lube. Make sure you have some lube. She can circle the head of your penis, and then you have a variation of the bullet that's here. So this particular one has bunny ears. So you can actually put a nipple in between the bunny ears, or you could put a clitoris directly in between these bunny ears, and as well as your shaft too. You can still play with it, put your shaft in between the two here. So a bullet is a very good starter toy, and not again, how I was saying, it's not intimidating to anyone when you bring it into the bedroom.
Right. And then I think that, this is, I mean, I know some people might be overzealous about trying things, but I think it should most definitely be like a conversation that couples have, like, let's try this, because I know depending on who the person is you're talking to, they might feel like they're inadequate, but it's not about that. If you've been married for 10 years, you got to spice it up. Those same tricks. Y'all got to get some new tricks. Okay.
That has nothing to do with toys. But I will say this. What's good for another woman, as far as a couple, may not be good for all couples. So for someone like myself, I'm very open to new ideas, new experiences. So bringing another person into the bedroom is okay for me. For maybe someone like Lauren, those things might not be okay with her. So that's a conversation I think that you should have with your wife. But I will say, if you do venture into getting into a threesome, let your wife control everything. Let her pick the woman that you're going to be with. Let her, decide the date, the time, how comfortable she is. Because if you pick the woman, it's going to be problematic.
Yeah.
Let her pick the woman. Let her control the narrative.
But what if she picks the woman and he doesn't like the woman? Maybe he likes women with long weaves, and she picks a girl with a natural hairstyle.
He's not looking at her hair when they're in the bedroom.
Somebody said why?
For me personally, so what I don't understand is, for men, what makes you seeing the thought of another
no,
man?
You can't.
The thought of another man on your woman, you can't, y'all can't deal with it. So what makes you think that the woman who loves you and puts up with you would enjoy seeing another woman pleasure you? I feel like that is for
especially a woman that you're very attracted to.
Right. I feel like that should be
right.
For, listen, what you do is what you do. If you want to have a threesome, it ain't going to be with me. And don't let me not say this because people will be like, oh, she with it. I'm just saying, I just feel like that's for me. That's if I love him, I'm punching everybody in the head. You know, it's not, I'm swinging on everybody because that's my man, you know. Don't touch him like that, you know. So I feel like I don't understand why a lot of men, and they know how their women are, they are not going to want to share. Sharon is not caring when it comes to certain things. And if she does want to share, you might want to think twice, like, oh damn, she might be, yeah, girl, go ahead, just because I'm done with them. Okay.
Yeah, but if you are, for the person that asked that question, if you are interested, I have a couple resources that I can send you so that you and your wife can start to explore these different things. So hit me up, DM me.
Okay, so let's get into that. So she has, what are they called? Events, guys. And when she has her events, she's had 3
Four.
Okay, well, the 3 of the same guy. What was his name?
Erotic Ropes by Dash.
Yeah, so she had, and what's that called? Rope play? What was that called?
Bondage.
So she had 3 events with bondage, and I must say, a lot of couples came, and it was a vibe. It's always a vibe. I mean, everybody's nice. They're open. Nobody's acting crazy. She has her little kittens that walk around. The women, they're hitting on, hitting the women on their butts. It's like a fun vibe. It's no uptight. So, I would suggest you guys follow her. And if it's something that you want to, get into or see if your mate is into, then you should definitely come to her event.
I'm laughing too, Liddy. I'm glad, Lauren.
It's in between a couple, like after the third party leaves, a fight, right? Design incredible stuff.
I mean, I'm gonna tell you, I wouldn't be able to handle it. So I wouldn't even put myself in that position to even do something like that. And I've never been in a relationship, my main relationships, none of them asked for a threesome. So I guess they were so busy cheating, but we ain't going
So if I can answer, his name is Ricardo, right?
Yes.
If I can answer Ricardo, to put my business out there, just to be very transparent, I've never had a threesome in any of my relationships, but I have been a third in a relationship. And one of the things that I know, conversation that happened after our episode was she was a little apprehensive. Although she chose me, she was a little apprehensive because of the noise her husband was making when I was doing what I was doing.
Oh.
But him and I both picked up on it during, and he shied away. He told me he's going to shy away because he saw a certain look that she had, and everything was fine. And I'm actually still very good friends with that couple to this day. So,
but why do you think people? Because I feel like there's a certain type of mindset and there's a certain type of couple who can handle things like that. Do you think people do threesomes just to see what their tolerance level are, or do you think women just do it just to blindly please their man, and they really deep down in their heart of hearts don't like it?
I think it's a double-edged sword. I think that some people reach for it as a form of desperation, and that's when things go wrong, when they're trying to like spice things up to keep their man or keep their wife, but I think just like anything else, any sort of sexual act that they're curious about, they act on it and they do it before they talk about it. That's just like when you're meeting someone. When I'm on a million dating apps, right, and people are quick to have sex and want to have sex with you, and less inclined to talk about sex with you before the actual act.
Right.
So I think that a lot of people, they act on it before they actually discuss it in its entirety, or they don't have the resources to talk to someone who's experienced it before, because the person that has experienced before is too shy to talk about it.
Right. Why do you think people who something that is as important as sex? This just popped into my head. Why do you think people don't invest in it? Why do you think people don't talk about it? Because we all have it, we all, it's something that feels good. We don't just do it to procreate like animals, we do it because it feels good. You know, it's a really intimate act. So why do you think people don't like invest in sexual education and like really understanding men, really understanding women on a sexual vibe? Why do you think? I know there's no real answer, but why do you think?
I think it has a lot to do with upbringing. I think it has a lot to do with the individual household. I think it has a shit ton to do with religion. You know, certain people's books of religion tells them you shouldn't do this or you shouldn't do that. And, you know, people move away from those things, and, you know, your family reacts to that. If you're at a movie theater, you're with Chloe in a movie theater, right? And someone starts having sex on screen, she's going to react to how you react. She's looking at you. So if you're like, oh, Chloe, don't look, then she's going to be like, oh, shit, I shouldn't look. You know what I mean? When she's not around you. So it's a taught behavior. But if you're teaching them that it's natural and that they can talk to you about it, they won't cringe at those images. And, you know, obviously age appropriate images. You don't want to show some busted wide open to no children. Yeah, you don't, none of that.
To that man.
Oh, somebody wants to know what you were doing to the man that had him. So let's just say Nicole does. Eventually, I want to get her to have courses, because at one point she did give courses on fellatio and different things. So I really think you need to get into that, because I feel like about 20 people up in here would be in the thing asking for a friend. I have one more question. Let me see. Oh no. It's not a question. This is just her talking about the satisfier. Yes, hands down.
The satisfier is like the go-to. The satisfier comes in a couple different models too. This is the satisfier 1. Then there's a Pro 2 that is rechargeable. Then you have the traveler version. I know Camille got the traveler version. Kimmy bought the traveler version. Coley got the 1. The 1 is battery operated, so the batteries are just right in the bottom here.
Mm-hmm.
Right, super easy to take off. It's completely waterproof, as I say, to take off, and then I put the thing back on crooked. It's 100% waterproof. And I just, you know, I love it. You know, most people love it. I have my favorites. I know Lauren has her favorite.
I have a couple
singular.
So let me ask you something. Give me your 3 names for a vagina and 3 names for a penis.
Lord. For penis, I would say obviously peen. Y'all ready? Dick. And but you gotta put the bass in your voice. You dick. And D's and B's.
Yes.
D and B's.
We coined that, Nicole. D's and B's.
Yes, the D and B go a long way.
What about
and for lady parts, I'd say classic camel toe, monkey jack, and just cooch. The cooch.
Cool. Pocketbook. Yeah, monkey jack. Do you have a name for your vagina? Does she have a name?
She's been given a name.
What's that?
Oh, Lauren. She's been given the name of Super Pussy.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
You know, I'll keep mine to my
mind your business.
Lydia. Oh shoot. Okay, let me check. We have another question. She asked, what's your favorite device?
My favorite, because I have a couple here with me.
Okay.
I'd say my favorite is the OVO E6. This is a rabbit vibrator. And as you see, ladies, I don't pick toys that look cheesy. This one I love. It has 2.
That looks aerodynamic.
Yes. Get all the curves right in there. You see that?
Yes.
Get all the curves. And what I love about this one is that the ears here are super flexible. to stimulate your clitoris. So it's curved to hit the G spot here. And what I like about this specifically too is it has two independent motors. So it has a motor here in the tip, and then it has an independent motor here in the actual rabbit. This is battery operated and 100% waterproof too. And this particular device comes with a 15-year warranty. So
how much is that, Nick?
this is $69.99.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's my favorite. That's my favorite vibrator. And then
is it, Nick?
It is. That's my favorite vibe. And then this is my favorite. Obviously, the Satisfier is my favorite clit stimulator, right? But like the go-to, like on top of clothes, the classic, the Magic Wand.
Oh, that's a classic.
Yeah, this is the classic. This on top of my pants, leggings, I don't even have to take clothes off. This thing will pop that orgasm in like 4 minutes with no problem.
Okay.
And it's corded, so y'all know it's strong. That's a cord. All right. All right. All right. Enough about me.
So what else do you have? You have anything else?
I do. I have this toy went viral recently, and it actually sold out in less than 24 hours. And this is the fantasy for her ultimate pleasure. So this is a complete clitoral and vulva stimulating device. This sucks in the entire vulva, and then the tongue wags and vibrates on top of the clitoris. So this one is a newbie that just recently sold out. So this is another one too.
Yeah. You demonstrated that on my arm. It has the suction is mean.
Let me see if I could. Where you at with time? I don't know if y'all can see that. Let me see if I could adjust the suction some more.
Oh, so it pulls it up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it'll do that to your entire vulva.
So should I get that or the Satisfier?
I never used it. I can only talk about what I've used.
This one is completely sold out. I have to. I'm waiting for this.
When she sold, I'll show you the demonstration. She sold out of that one.
I might need to wait for that to come.
Do you have any of those left, Nick?
No, I'm actually. These are back order right now. I'm on a waiting list to get these again.
What's the price? What's the price?
They $150.
$150.
Yeah. These aren't cheap. These are $150. DM me, Kiki Mobib, DM me. I'll shoot you the website. But it's in my bio. If you click in the bio, the website is there. I also post toys that I have in store. We have a brick and mortar store as well that's located at 2635 West Girard Avenue in Brewery Town. Obviously, it's closed right now, but everything that's in store, I'm selling and offering free delivery for everyone in Philadelphia.
Do you have any male toys close?
I do. They're explicit.
Okay, they want to see them. Can we see male toys?
Yes. Give me 1 second.
Y'all, my glasses broke. I'm sorry I'm in here. If my eyes are crossing, this is my glasses. I guess I can do like this. Y'all crazy.
So I have, this is what you call a pocket pussy. All right. I'm going to take it out so you can see what it looks like. Are y'all ready? Drum roll, please.
Ooh.
So this is what it looks like, right? And this is an example of a closed-ended stroker. So when you use this particular stroker, as you're going up and down, it'll create suction because it's not open on the end here. It doesn't have a hole here on the end. This particular one is made out of silicone and looks very lifelike. If you can see, I'm not touching the labia hard at all. And you can see it moves and looks just like a real lady.
And listen, you know, sometimes if you're a mother, you got more than one child or one child, and your man or your husband or whoever wants to get some, and you don't feel like it, I would buy one of those. I'll slap that thing on. Good night. I'm going to bed. You good.
Right. And this particular one is anatomically correct. So don't be alarmed. Here's the disclaimer, because I'm getting ready to open it up. So when you open it up, it has the ridges and feeling like the little nubs of an actual vagina.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Right. And it even has a little G-spot area. That's supposed to be the G-spot at the top of the walls of the inside of the vagina.
Wow. So, I'm about to call you Chloe. Lord. So, Nick, have you had any reviews? Do you know any men who have used that?
Yes, I actually have. I'm in a partnership, sponsorship with a gentleman. Yes, this is my product. It's $50 and it's pink. Yes. Do y'all need a second hour of this? Like, what's going on? Yes, I'm in partnership with a gentleman by the name of Dear Orlando Roy. He has an OnlyFans page, and he's my male sex toy tester. So he tests all of these products for me on his OnlyFans. And this is his favorite. He's actually used his so much that the top of his popped, like he popped the top of his. And I had to set him a new one, okay? Yes. And when he told me, he was like, I broke my pussy. I'm like, okay, all right, I'll send you a new one.
And I like that. He's a black man, and
he's a black man.
And I just like that he does that for you, because there's so much stigma attached to it, and there's nothing wrong with it. You know, like I said, I would buy that, and I would put my man to sleep. Good night. I got to put this baby in the bed. I got homework to do. Here you go. And night, night. So let me ask you, Nick said, how do you clean it? How do you clean those?
You clean it with you can use a really good toy cleaner, which I have also, right?
You got another testament.
I see. He's a friend of a friend. I'm gonna talk to Jules in a little bit. But you can use any sort of toy cleaner, any high quality toy cleaner, but you can use antibacterial soap. And then to keep it fresh, you want to use cornstarch to keep it fresh. If you don't use cornstarch, what happens is your toy will start to sweat because it's made out of silicone. So the cornstarch keeps it dry and fresh.
How much is it?
It's $50.
Oh, that's not bad.
So this is a male toy. Y'all got, you know what I mean? Y'all got good stuff out here. Y'all just scared to use them.
So somebody asked, are you restocking that one? So I don't know if they're talking about the pocket or they're talking about the suction one. But you have the suction one is on back order, so you'll have those, right?
Right.
And then you have the pockets. You have some of those.
Right. Oh, and for, I think it was Jackson Rental Homes, was it?
Mm-hmm.
I have another good starter toy, too. This is called...
Nick, we got 5 minutes. Pull that out.
This is the pleasure poker. So this is a glove, a latex glove, well, silicone glove that you put left hand, right hand, and each finger has a different texture of stimulation, with the thumb being the largest one. I'm not going to pull this one out because this is new, and if I open it and put it on, it'll stretch it out and it won't be new anymore. But it's called the pleasure poker. So I don't know if you guys can like really see the hands, but this one has been selling really fast too, due to Orlando promoting this on his OnlyFans. He's used this on his OnlyFans. Another girlfriend of mine in New York that's on a podcast, she's used it and she loves it too. So this is another good starter one.
She's used it on women or men?
She's used it on herself. She has her guy that uses it on her.
Oh, okay.
So, this is a good one too. If you're someone that, you know, uses your hands a lot, you use your hands to insert for, you know, stimulation, then this is a good one. And this one is only $42. So, and it'll last you. It's stretchy. Your hands won't be too big. No, it stretches. So this is a good one too. This is a good starter one too.
All right. And
So.
Nick, we got 3 more minutes. So I just want to tell everybody that I'm not going to, my eyes are crossing. I gotta put something. I'm sorry, y'all. Don't laugh. They're gonna laugh. Because the eyes are crossing. I need my glasses. Do you see this fully wearing? Outside has to open back up because I need to get my glasses fixed. I dropped it, the thing fell off, and all of that. So let me just get my eyes adjusted. They're straight now. This getting old shit is nutty. Okay.
Lord.
Stop laughing.
You got 3 minutes.
Can you use it on your clitoris? I don't know what that question was. I think anything can be used on a clitoris, but Cheryl, you know her number. You can ask her. I just wanted to tell people I have a YouTube channel. All my lives will be on the YouTube channel. I will not be putting them on IGTV because IGTV goes on my page and I need my page to look a certain way aesthetically. So, any last words, Nick? We have 2 minutes. Anything you want to say? Make sure you guys follow her.
No, thank you. Thank you for having us always. I always appreciate your support. You know, you're family to me always. You're not just my friend, you're my sister, you know. I am having, after she posts this live, I am having a Mother's Day raffle for the luxury satisfier, which is rose gold and white leather. So, and it's a $10 raffle. So I'll be posting that soon. So follow me, turn on your post notifications, enter the raffle. So you could win that satisfier for your wife or your girlfriend.
Today, Yuri, no rapid fire because I knew people would want to know about these toys. And anybody, do you have a discount code for me?
Yes, I do. Lauren's discount code is EWIC, EWIC, for Ellen W Interior Concepts. It'll give you 10% off online, and this code is good for the remainder of the year because who knows how long we're going to be in quarantine. And I know y'all going to want some quarantine peen. So get to that website.
Nick, how's business? Booming.
Business is booming. Booming.
All right, y'all. So I hope you liked it. Again, if you want to see a replay, it'll be on my YouTube channel. And I will see you next week. It's going to be geared to mental health awareness. So it'll be a good show. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for supporting and coming on and engaging. Have a good night.
Erotic Boudoir. Who's asking about the business?